Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on September 3rd. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. Before we check in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress, take a look at this light show that was taken from our Klamath Falls weather cam last night. Is really showing off.
I know,
Mother
it's
Nature
stunning.
Showing off light, right?
A beautiful show just put on for us. I know we've seen lots of those thunderstorm shows this summer, and we even have the possibility again to see some more thunderstorms today. So if you want to see that look, we'll be heading outside. But again, if you hear thunder, make sure you're heading indoors. Do want to lead with that. But for today, we are tracking out morning showers into the afternoon, more chances for thunderstorms. It will be staying hot in terms of those high temperatures. And then, of course, we're looking out for smoke and air quality impacts again today. Here's a look at this morning. We are seeing some showers, mainly areas over east side and into western Siskiyou County. We do have the possibility to see maybe a light shower areas over west side as well, but I wouldn't count on it for your morning. So if you do feel a few raindrops though, don't be too surprised at the bus stop into the Rogue Valley. Temperatures will be feeling a bit more mild this morning compared to yesterday. High temperatures will be making up into the upper 90s for the Rogue Valley by the time you're heading home from school, and then we'll be keeping a close eye out for some isolated thunderstorm chances as well. Here's a live look out across the region. Notice those temperatures this morning, definitely feeling a bit more mild than we were working up to yesterday, where it was feeling a bit cooler. Also, in terms of your air quality, it's not too bad in general for areas across the region unless you're over into western Siskiyou County. Air quality is looking pretty unhealthy this morning. We'll continue to track that out throughout our day today as well, especially with those wildfires burning in and around the region. But here's a look at your high temperatures. Still going to be feeling pretty hot if you are areas inland, pushing pretty close to those triple digits into our west side. Valleys will be into the upper 80s. East side, we'll see the 90s into Northern California. If you are along the coast, temperatures are going to be feeling more comfortable into the 60s today. But we're keeping a close eye on those thunderstorm chances, continuing on with the red flag warning areas over east side until 9 p.m. tonight. So I'll go ahead and talk more about those thunderstorm chances and take a closer look at your smoke forecast coming up next.
Starting on the fire watch this morning, we're continuing to track the blue fire in Northern California as evacuation orders remain in place this morning. Additional structured defenses have been deployed, along with firefighters clearing vegetation and applying portable sprinkler systems. Officials say no major progress was made, but firefighters are trying to secure Walker Creek Road. A community meeting was held where expectations for this fire were discussed.
Tomorrow we're going to get back into the fire weather business, and we're going to see that fire weather come back in, the fire behavior will increase, and the fire is going to start to move around again.
If you missed out on the community meeting, you can watch a recorded version on the Klamath National Forest Facebook page. And the Dillon fire has now grown to more than 8,700 acres with 7% containment. Over 1,000 fire personnel are assigned to this fire, and crews are constructing a fire line more directly to the fire perimeter around Dillon Creek Campground and along the main fire's south side. And the Siskiyou County Office of Emergency Services and Sheriff's Office wants everyone to know where to call to find information about these wildfires and shelters. Take a look on your screen for phone numbers on each specific wildfire, contact information for evacuation shelters, or for general information and resources can be found on these phone numbers. And for fire maps and zones, you can head on over to our website at kdrv.com. And we also have an update on the Root Fire. Local law enforcement has determined the fire was caused by an escaped campfire. Now the fire is burning in the Shasta Trinity National Forest, with the fire burning more than 660 acres and is at 30% containment. Both residents and visitors are being urged to use extra caution in the fire area and are also being reminded to take measures to prevent wildfires. And we're also tracking the log fire in the Klamath National Forest, which now has a forest closure in the Marble Mountain Wilderness. The fire is estimated at 628 acres, burning in a remote area with steep terrain. Fire suppression efforts on the Dillon, Blue, and Root fires have left the log fire with limited resources, but firefighters specialized in responding to remote fires have been called in and are expected to be available today. And with the Root, Blue, and Dillon fires being the top 3 for resource priority in this country, it's important for those in the area to stay vigilant and ready to evacuate if necessary. Newswatch 12's Grace Ritz tells us more on what you may need to be ready.
Multiple fires burning in and around our region, it's important for everyone to know the steps to take to prepare for possible evacuations.
If you or your home could be affected by wildfire evacuations, it's important to always be ready. This means having 3 gallons of water and 3 days worth of essentials packed in a go bag and stored in your trunk so that you can leave at a moment's notice.
Think about the things that you don't want to worry about if the county says evacuate now and you haven't thought of it. It's really hard to make those decisions in a pinch when you're stressed out and you have to leave.
Have essentials like medications, important paperwork, phone chargers, and food in an easy, ready-to-grab location. Fire crews also ask that you leave your house locked, but keep a gate to your yard unlocked.
Bring like 3 days worth of things that you need to a shelter or wherever you're going, whether that's important papers, your chargers, medication, that kind of thing.
If you're under an evacuation order for Northern California or a level 3 evacuation in Oregon, you must evacuate immediately.
We don't issue these orders lightly. We try to get those orders and warnings out as quick as we can because minutes count. We're hopeful to see people adhere to the orders just to protect their lives.
To stay up to date on evacuation orders and to find your zone, use Genesis Protect. Reporting in Medford, I'm Grace Ritz.
Continuing coverage, Governor Tina Kotek is delaying potential layoffs in the Oregon Department of Transportation, and this comes after voting in the legislative special session on ODOT funding has been postponed. The layoffs were originally scheduled for September 15th, but the Oregon Senate won't reconvene until the 17th. Senate Democrats say a key figure in transportation funding, Senator Chris Gorsuch of Gresham, has been sidelined by some health complications from a medical procedure that he had last month. On Monday, the State House passed House Bill 3991, which increases and adds taxes related to roads, cars, trucks, and buses. And yesterday, the Senate met in a brief session to reschedule the final votes on that bill. And as we're continuing to track the September special session, RVTD is beginning to operate on their new bus schedule. 10 routes are now suspended, leaving just 6 total routes. There will also be no service on Saturdays, and operating hours will be reduced to 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And the City of Grants Pass held a council workshop to go over the cancellation of homelessness grant application. The city is canceling its Addressing Homelessness grant program after its applicant, the Geodomestic Organization, withdrew its application due to a misunderstanding about established partnerships. Now, the City Council is preparing to cut the entire grant process, and councilors announced a new revised program during its workshop, which includes changing the process of selecting the grant winner.
Proposal review period would conclude with a workshop where applicants would come in and interview. They could answer questions, they'd give their presentation, answer any questions that you might have. After the interviews, then the council would, as a group, discuss those applications and scoring.
Besides the revised selection process, the city will add a reference section to the application. That's where applicants will need to add 3 references who can provide information on the applicant's success helping homeless individuals. And new this morning, Access is helping veterans in Jackson County thanks to grants from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, OHCS, private donors, and local partners. According to Access, they are helping unhoused and unstable housed veterans through a variety of resources, from temporary rental assistance, security deposits, education opportunities, and more. And for more information on how Access is helping veterans, you can visit Access's website. And as we inch closer to the fall season, Talent Police is reminding the community that driving under the influence is illegal. Some information that you should know about is that you can still be arrested for a DUI even if your BAC is below 0.08% if you show signs of impairment. Buzz driving is still drunk driving, and DUI includes alcohol, cannabis, prescription medication, or any substance affecting your ability to drive safely. In 2022, 11,654 people were killed in the U.S. due to drunk driving crashes, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So remember to choose a sober driver or call a taxi. And Klamath County School District welcomed back their students, and here are some pictures from the school district capturing their first day of school. More than 6,900 students returned to class this week in the Klamath County School District, and most students had their first day yesterday, but the rest will begin classes today. And happening now, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and advocates in Southwest Oregon say more families are reaching out for help. A Medford nonprofit is working to make sure no one faces a mental health crisis alone. NAMI Southern Oregon offers free support groups, classes, and resources for people living with mental health conditions and their loved ones.
But if you have a mental health condition and then occasionally you're aberrant in your behavior, people see a healthy human being, but there's something wrong with them. And what do they have a tendency? You think they're going to bring you something to eat for dinner that night? Or they're going to give you, help you out and feed you or do something of that nature? They're not going to do that. They want to stay away from you.
For more information on classes and support groups, you can visit the NAMI Southern Oregon website.